What it do, homies? We are here with some more CG5. This time we are checking out their Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 song, Wrong Side Out. It's been a minute since I've reacted to some CG5, so let's see if we can get them back on the channel. Tom, go ahead, shut up, turn it up. Wait. You know, oftentimes, you know, when you hit play on these videos, it automatically starts playing like a couple of seconds. But depending on how they produce the song, sometimes those little few seconds right there, you miss. And it just immediately just starts at some high energy like it just did, right? 2 seconds in, already up in the creep factor. Shout out. Okay, wait a minute before. Before we even let's dive this down. Obviously, very nice, very we would call it not necessarily unsettling. A lot of this has to do with the really just how retro-ish it's kind of sounding, the mix. But what I want to point attention to is that kick. That kick got a whole lot of, what do you want to call it? Got a whole lot of disgust in it, if you will. What is that? It's like some digital, like some trash kind of distortion or whatnot. What am I to make it at? Right? Very nasty kick. It occupies a lot of the track, which I think is the reason why we don't have too many competing elements in here. You obviously got the melody, and some type of ARP that's playing in the background, but the kick, man. And then I saw the kick transform, the pattern of it, moving into it when the snare start coming in. I love to see that. I love to see very interesting transitions into the next section instead of just like a couple of stuff right there. It doesn't have to be the most craziest of fillers, but it'd be those simple stuff like that. This animation is crazy. See, like that. Isn't that kind of crazy how it wasn't necessarily unsettling in a sort. It was just the way that the rhythm just completely changed. And literally the only thing that was added was the snare, right? The kick pattern for the most part stayed the same. You got some panning, interesting crawling kind of centipede percussion going on in the background. But then the snare comes in and it goes from boom, boom, boom. And now, boom, bro, the power of a snare, man, cannot be underestimated. Wait a minute. Wait, you want to know something, bro? You know, I've listened to a few CG5 songs, but I don't think I've ever heard him scream the gutturals, whether it be high. Well, I guess is there such thing as a high guttural? I thought gutturals generally meant like low note gutturals. You know what I mean? But this part right here just 100% begs it. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of that towards the end of the song. There's some hidden, the way that it's mixed. CG5 also got some other different type of vocals that's going on in the background, but really the power's in the mix, really, because its presence is there. It literally sounds like a fleeting ghost, but it's helpful that we hear those leading up to kind of like the end of that chorus, where obviously the background vocals are there, but the fact that how it kind of just creep up behind you, you know, especially if you got some good headphones on, you can hear it. That wrong side out, and then at the end you hear that but it's crazy how it kind of just fades into obscurity. The whispers. Beautiful. Oh, guys, I have not played any of the Poppy Playtime songs, right? So, I can get some context clues about what's kind of going on in the song. I'm mostly here for the music, especially if I don't know the context and everything, then most of my attention is going to shift to the production, something I'm familiar with. Just to let you go, if you guys don't see me remarking on anything, I don't know what's going on in the game. You know what I mean? So, but it's CG5, so I'm here for the music, baby. Come on. When he's singing the wrong side out, if you really want to dial in the tension, if you really want to dial in the scary factor, generally when we're moving notes, or let's say you're composing, you're playing notes, right? You got your whole steps, you got your semi steps, A to G, the scale, A, B, C, D, F, G, and then it repeats and everything. So if you go half step, generally the less movement that you do, the more sinister it sounds, right? The more bigger steps you do is when you start getting into more melodic stuff and everything. So he's got that nice contrast going on where that do 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 do, and then he goes into the do do do, which I do 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 do. That might just be a whole step. It might be a half step, but do do do, which already has the sinister stuff enough. But we still want to maintain somewhat of the melodic and still give you that almost hard rock metal type of feel. So then we get the screams and the yells or the screams in the background and further amplify that. That's whenever I hear like more R&B, not R&B, more melodic singing stuff, man, I feel like you got so many avenues, so many things, so many ways to go with this. Oh, some water. Oh, I still got my for my green screen. I got my hey. Oh my. All right. See, look, bro. Those of you new to the channel, I never like when it comes to like the stuff I react to, it's mostly going to be driven by what the subscribers want to see, and what I think is going to do well, and my own interests. You know what I mean? So obviously, I'm interested in a lot of CG5 songs. They don't do that well on my channel. However, there have been quite a few people actually that has asked me for this particular song in general, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, now why is that, right? I don't ever get in my comments to react to any other CG5 songs, but something about this one. There it is, right? Subscriber base knows that I am a lover of breakdowns. Now, hold on. Now we need to break down the breakdown, because you thought there ain't no concept in here. Oh, it for sure is. And I'm about to tell you what it do. Okay, hold on. First off, it's relentless. So the do. Remember I was telling you guys about the kick at the beginning? We still don't have, we don't necessarily have that same kind of kick characteristic here. I think it's slightly different. It's got a little bit more oomph. It's a completely different kick, if you will. It's definitely how all that sound stuff. But it gives you that effect of being chased. Right? Those are footsteps. That's movement that's happening in a song. And not only that, but the rhythm is a little bit more unorthodox, right? Because if you think about kind of like we're all familiar with percussive elements, especially when it comes to like a beat, right? We're familiar with like 4/4 and everything, but it's possible to be offbeat and on time at the same time, right? I come from a jazz background, so our rhythms are very very irregular. But the interesting thing about listening to jazz and learning how to play jazz is that you learn how to understand those type of rhythms, right? You come up with some really interesting things. So when we're listening to this, that boom, 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 like if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Generally, you would start seeing things either stop or end on the 4 or the 8, maybe the 2, 4, and the 6. But sometimes it will land on an odd number instead of an even number to really kind of give you that sense of unorthodoxness. And I think that's what we're getting right here, that do. And it works, right? Because it's still in time. But if I want to give you that unorthodox feeling, then it's going to feel a little bit more natural, right? And given what this game is, being chased, that makes sense. That's what we're getting, that those kicks, right? You count with me. It's crazy. That was amazing. Take me home. Take me home. This is the start of my immortal perfection, and I'm your God. I can make you better. I can make you right. Maybe now you'll see reason from the wrong side out. I'll set you together, and you'll get lost in the light. Maybe now. I think this is the first time I've seen this. I've seen this monster, right? What this is. I think it's the first time I've seen it smile. So. Gameplay? Jeez. Hey man, I think this might be the heaviest that I've heard CG5. Oh snaps! All right, let's go down here to the comments and everything. CG5 was the most memed on creator, and now he's #1 in the USA. Well, as of 19 hours ago. That's crazy. What? Stitch you together, metal work so far with the prototype CG5 hard metal. It does, right? I mean, I don't know if I would know if I would call this hard metal. This is kind of more, I guess you could call it metal. I guess you call it like a fusion. Almost kind of swings in as alternative metal. It definitely kind of has some elements to it. I wouldn't call it exactly metal. It really doesn't matter. It's bangs. Obligated, yeah. Prototype. Okay, some people are here talking about different type of games or whatnot, but this is absolute masterpiece. And obviously I've been sleeping on getting some more CG5 on this channel. So if you guys want to see some more, you gotta let me know, right? Let's see if we can get this to, I don't know, 200 likes seems to be very difficult on this channel. So let's try to do 150. How about that one? All right. Dibs out.